Hello, welcome to the introduction for Module 7. This week we wrap up our lecture on the Clean Air Act. We'll cover two formal programs, the Acid Deposition Control Program and the Stratospheric Ozone Protection Program. Then we'll conclude with a discussion on how the Clean Air Act can address climate change and greenhouse gas emissions. Let's begin with the Acid Deposition Control Program. This program targets sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxides. I'll refer to these as SO2 and NOx. Both pollutants are known as acid rain precursors, meaning they interact with oxygen in the upper atmosphere and transform into sulfates and nitrates, which then combine with water to form sulfuric and nitric acid. Much of the source for acid rain originates in Midwest coal plants, and the winds carry these acids to the northeastern U.S. and Canada. Acid rain is associated with the acidification of water resources, which harms the habitats and species that rely on these water resources. Acid lakes and streams have been found all over the country. For instance, lakes in Acadia National Park on Maine's Mount Desert Island have become acidic due to pollution from the Midwest and the East Coast. Streams in Maryland and West Virginia, as well as lakes in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, have been damaged by acid rain. Pollutants that cause acid rain can make the air hazy or foggy. This occurs in the eastern United States in areas like the Great Smokies and Shenandoah National Park, areas where vacationers go to enjoy the beautiful scenery. In addition to damaging the natural environment, acid rain can damage man-made objects such as stone statues, buildings, and monuments. You may recall that SO2 and NOx are regulated as criteria pollutants. Criteria pollutant regulations apply to ambient air levels, which EPA sets an emission limit for and then allows the states flexibility to meet. The Acid Deposition Control Program differs by regulating these two pollutants from individual sources before the pollutants enter the atmosphere. Think of the Acid Deposition Control Law as an additional layer of control by targeting specific facilities. The program targets the worst stationary source emitters, that is coal and oil-fired electric generating plants. Let's move on to the Stratospheric Ozone Protection Program. You know that ozone is a criteria pollutant, so it might be confusing to some that there's a program to protect it. When ozone is in the lower atmosphere, it forms smog, which is unhealthy for humans, but in the upper atmosphere, ozone acts as a protective screen against ultraviolet radiation reaching the Earth. Exposure to ultraviolet rays has been linked to cataracts and skin cancer. Scientists have also linked increased UVB exposure to crop injury and damage to ocean plant life. High levels of SO2 in the air aggregate various lung problems in people with asthma and can cause breathing difficulties in children and the elderly. In the mid-1970s, scientists became concerned that chlorofluorocarbons could destroy stratospheric ozone. At that time, CFCs were widely used as aerosol propellants in consumer products, such as hairsprays and deodorants, and as coolants in refrigerators and air conditioners. In 1978, the U.S. government banned CFCs as propellants in most aerosol uses. In the 1980s, scientists began accumulating evidence that the ozone layer was being depleted. The ozone hole in the region of the South Pole, which has appeared each year during the Antarctic winter or summer, often is bigger than the continental United States. Between 1978 and 1997, scientists have measured a 5% loss of stratospheric ozone, a significant amount. Because of the ozone-destroying chemicals already in the stratosphere and those that will arrive within the next few years, stratospheric ozone destruction will likely continue for another 50 years at current projections. The year 2006 tied for the largest ozone hole on record at 29 million square kilometers. As for climate change, I believe you have a firm grasp of the issues here, so there's not much in the way of an introduction. Climate change is the defining issue of our time, and how we address this issue under the Clean Air Act is the focus of this module.